Do you want to see a super fast lens? Oh, I have to do a long walk back now. Super fast lenses, they can unlock a world of photographic fun, or they can empty your bank account of all your money and make your photos worse. So do you really need a super fast lens? But what is it? First of all, let's show you. So this is a Laowa, hashtag not an ad, not sponsored. They didn't even let me keep it. But still, I've got the other one. I've got the 35. What did we test last time? 35095?
Something like that.
I've still got that. I've still got loads of Laowa lenses. I'm supposed to send them back. Somebody giving birth. Christ. So anyway, yeah, I
want a new iPhone! I want a new iPhone!
I was kidding. So anyway, I've still got a load of Laowa lenses that I still haven't sent back. So they probably can't cost that much to make, so it doesn't matter. I can drop it, throw it if I want.
Well, after this video.
Yeah, yes, obviously. Yeah, this is a super fast lens. This is a 45mm 0.95. It's different to the other one in that it's got 10mm extra. 10mm makes all the difference. That's what I tell ladies anyway.
Not too long after they brought out the affordable but Bokelicious 35mm f0.95, Laowa's brought out this $799 not too different focal length maxi max aperture lens. But why on earth do you need one?
That's right, so this is a super fast lens. What is a fast lens first? Well, f1.8 is fast when you compare it to a non-fast lens, like an f4 lens. f1.4, universally accepted as a fast lens. f1.2 gives you bragging rights because it's faster than 1.4. And an F1 puts you in an exclusive club. Well, used to, because F1 was quite a rare maximum aperture to have. But now, 0.95, that is properly super fast. What is the difference? 0.5, 0.05. But that's about a third of a stop faster than F1. F1 is a full stop faster than F1. No, what am I saying? F1 is a full stop faster than f1.4. f1.2 is about a third faster than f1.4. That pretty much explains it, doesn't it? But a brief history of fast lenses. Way back, way back, when people were shooting with film, back in the old days, film ISO didn't go that high. Digital ISO goes right up there. So people needed fast lens to kind of compensate for the slowish film compared to modern day ISO. So there were lots of 1.2 lenses. Everybody did them. Nikon, Canon, Minolta, Pentax, yes, they made stuff. Olympus, everybody did one. And then technology happened, and then nobody needed it because you've got high ISO, you can get low noise, high ISO shots easily. So for digital, you don't really need it. But these days, for some reason, everybody's making them again. Nikon, Canon, Sony, Fujifilm, and practically every factory in China is making a super fast lens. Why? Probably mainly for the effect, doesn't it? What effect? Let me show you. 0.95. Oh, look at that vignetting. Wow. Wow.
It's like some Instagram.
Back in Instagram filters, back in the days. iPhone only. Hashtag iPhone only. What filter shall I put? Let me put the, they got all funny names.
No filters.
They got funny names like, but I've got the burner filter with vignetting. It's got a vignetting because Lomo's cool.
No, it's really not. But what is true is it vignettes like a mofo until you stop it down to, well, even when you stop it down.
Actually, this is good. Let's stand here. Let's have you as a filler.
Official, the resident
Model can turn up today.
Western filler.
That's what it's all about. Locke's face is barely in focus, but that bokeh looks good. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Some people, there's a lot of geeks who buy super fast lenses And when they have it, it's like, oh, 095. I've got the power. I've got the Infinity Stone or something like that. I'm going to shoot at 095 and shoot everything at 095.
And it's not even shallow depth of field enough, so we have to get to the closest focusing.
What's the closest focusing? I want to get maximum bokeh, maximum bokerage. There we are. Oh, look at that. I can just about get Lumix in focus.
If we're talking about bokeh at close focusing distances and wide open, it really does look quite pleasing.
And that's the thing, bokeh, super fast lenses, it's become, that's what it's mainly about these days, is the bokeh. You just want to get that slight step up in terms of bokeh. The trouble is with these super fast lenses is that they're super heavy and sometimes super expensive. Not this one, because it's made in China. So some poor sod in China has made this for not much money, so you can buy this on the cheap. And look at the focus throw on that.
It is quite a long 270-degree focus throw, which you really need when it comes to nailing that paper-thin depth of field, which is not something that is easy to do on the go.
I mean, if you're thinking that you're going to be using this for street photography, think again, well, that worked there. But that's because I'm brilliant.
And you don't do f8 and be there because you got a 0.95 lens. What's the point?
It's going to be f095 and I'm going to stay here. I mean, that's the trouble. Can you have too much bokeh? I think you can sometimes, can't you?
Sometimes so much that it looks like a green screen
Yeah.
shot.
I mean, that's not how you see things in real life. When you're looking at things, it's not like everything's blurred. So when you're taking shots, and it's like that, it looks like you've taken a shot on your phone and you've added a portrait mode on it.
I think even sometimes portrait mode don't even let you go to that extreme. Oh, you've got everything here.
Yeah, I don't even need to go over there, even though it's just...
Like you got all the important stuff in Kingston, like the bridge, the telephone booth, and the church.
Whatever that is.
Right, it is just right over there.
That's where they get COVID tests, over there.
And that sign, that's really important.
Yeah.
It have a really historical importance.
Well, that's part of Kingston because they've always got bloody roadworks going on. But why didn't they just build that by the river? You have to go over to that crappy part. But anyway, yes, shallow depth of field is really what it's all about. But does it give you that much difference? 0.95 over f1.2? Let's just find anything. Let's find something that doesn't move.
Yes,
Okay.
it does get taken down to new depths of shallowness at f095 compared to f1.2. Is anyone going to look at your photo and realise that it was shot at f095? Probably not, but sometimes an f095 is not really for the viewer's pleasure, is it? Right, before we get too bokeh balls deep in bokeh, let's talk about how you could make money with your photos.
If you like taking photos, why not try making some money out of it? And Wirestock is the easiest way to do it. And you can do it with photos, vectors, and video. Now the process is very simple. All you do is upload your photo and then Wirestock keywords and captions all your photos or vectors or video files for free. Then they get distributed to all major marketplaces. Think Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, 123RF, Alami, well, however you say it, it's that, and much more. And really convenient things that's all done from one single free account. You don't have to log into all these different websites. In terms of royalty rates, it's higher than standard, and all Wirestock gets is 15% every time your photo sells. So if your photo doesn't sell, they don't get anything basically. What's more, Wirestock have launched an iOS and Android app so you can earn with your mobile content too. What's not to like? Start making money with your photos, videos, or vector files with the link down below.
People are thinking, why is this two guys just taking photo of that?
Is that TikTok? The TikToker is going to come. The TikToker is going to jump up behind us. But another problem with having lenses like this, as we just mentioned about our friend, our old colleague from Red Wolf, is that you kind of buy it and you kind of make yourself get bokeh for no good reason. It's because you start thinking about just the bokeh and then you just take photos of anything, which our friend did and some other people do. They just look for fairy lights. They look for a shop like that. Let's have you standing here as a focus. Just a point of. I'm not even going to have you. I'm just going to focus on, because that's what they'll do. They'd focus on a really boring subject like a camera. They want to make it seem like a proper photo. They want to make it feel like it's still got some artistic merit to it.
Seems like a proper photo.
In fact, they'll probably just have it at the edge of the frame like this, and then have maximum bokeh.
I would know because I used to do that, but if you're into that kind of thing, the bokeh balls are smooth. On these close-ish focusing shots, it didn't produce any harsh double-edged lines on the bokeh bits, which is great for a lens of this price. Decently low levels of chromatic aberration, although there is some coma when shot wide open.
I was here, Locke was filming here the other day, and I was going home, and I drove past my cube, and I was like,
Oh, the mic and the side is directional to my face.
so yeah, this is Tony Northrup, this is Tony Special. I need to get a filter out.
So bright.
Yeah, it's so hard. So, they go, oh! Easily detachable hood. He has his face like this.
Depth of field is fake.
That bokeh is fake. Yeah, he would have this. He would have his face, and everything in the background is so far away, and there's nothing in between. But even then, I think a lot of people fall into a trap of, okay, I've got this lens that takes lots of bokeh. What am I going to do? Portrait.
Closest focusing distance.
Yeah, just the tip of your nose in focus. For portrait, you want at least the eyes in focus, and it'll look odd if the nose is out of focus. So you need something with more depth of field.
Shooting portraits with an f/0.95 does require careful composition. With the subject head on, it's going to look a little odd having bits of the face out of focus. Do you really need that much subject separation for close to medium portraits? I'd say not.
And sometimes you see people take tourist photos, like you're on holiday, and then, oh, lovely bridge.
Yeah, bridge. I'm in Kingston.
Yeah, could be anywhere in the world. That's what it looks like. Barely knows a bridge. I know because I've done that before. I bought lenses and I thought, yes, super fast lens, and go on holiday and I think, yeah, I'm going to shoot everything at that, even in the daylight. And then, and years later, I think, what an idiot. When you're with super fast lenses, what is the point? Apart from the bokeh, it gives you usable shutter speeds at night, which it isn't right now. But a third of a stop, and if you compare it to 1.4, that's one full stop and an extra third stop, which is the difference between, say, if it's showing on the 25th of a second exposure for 1.4, it would be 60th of a second exposure at f/0.95 instead of 25th of a second, which could make the difference between a shaky shot and a less shaky shot.
Well, that's another thing that you probably don't need really fast lens these days, that in body stabilization.
Let's face it, apart from Astro, probably wouldn't use this lens. It is mainly about the bokeh.
I mean, a good reason to have a lens like this is that you can just blur really boring backgrounds out, really ugly backgrounds. It becomes less shallow, the depth field, when the subject is a little bit further away from the camera. But with a 0.95, you still get that bokeh goodness.
Doing a full-length portrait of Locke's ND fader, the bokeh starts to look a little iffy with the trees giving a slightly harsher blur. You can also see the bokeh balls look a little more prominent too, and our squished cat's eyes sort of bokeh towards the corners. And you can see some chromatic aberration too.
You know, I'm not gonna pretend that I take the nicest portraits. Personally, I think when it comes to taking photos with a bit of shallow depth of field, I think it looks better when it's got a little bit of depth to it.
If you're doing portraits with a subject off-centre, there's a noticeable fall-off in sharpness when moving slightly away from dead centre frame. When the subject is right in the centre, it offers an alright amount of sharpness. It's not super sharp, of course, but good enough for portraits, which sets this apart from a lot of the super soft, cheap, super fast lenses around.
So yeah, I've got the Laowa 45mm 0.95. I don't know why they feel like they need to release so many fast aperture lenses, super fast aperture lenses. And this is not too different focal length to the 35. I mean, 50 and 35 are already not too far apart, but 45 is slightly longer. And the focus throw is quite nice. It's very smooth. A long focus throw, which is what you need for lens with shallow depth of field. But surprisingly, they make quite a good lens with, you know, considering a 0.95. I would have thought the quality is quite bad. Some other China brands, their 0.95 or faster lenses are just, there's no point even trying it.
The performance is not hugely different to the 35mm f0.95, although I prefer the bokeh ever so slightly on the 45mm at close focusing distances. The vignetting is equally awful on both, however. At $799, there's not much to criticise about Laowa 45mm f0.95. It's not sharp, but a lot better than the super fast lenses of this price bracket. It's not a Noctilux nor a Nocticore, but it's not priced like one, and the bokeh is really quite pleasing. And if you don't mind manual focusing, you're not going to find many lenses that offer that much gooey shallow depth of field creamy bokeh for this price. Still, the point is, do you really need it? It might be useful at times, low light, for video production shot with available light, but if you want a more practical lens that can be used for more subjects, that's sharper, faster focusing, a 51.4 or 51.2 will serve you well and will be a heck of a lot more useful than the super fast lens that will probably spend more time in the low light confinement of your Pelly case.